Good morning and thank you for joining us on Thriving on the Suncoast. Today's show's format is going to be a little different. We're going to have several different interesting guests on the show today. Our topics will cover continuing care communities, nursing and retirement centers, and a unique Medicare program helping the chronically ill. We also have a special sponsor for our show today, Howard Blaustein. He's the publisher of Senior Life Publications. It's a beautiful, informative magazine, and it's the only monthly mailed senior publication in Sarasota and Manatee County. It focuses on information of interest to seniors between the age of 65 and 82, and their mission is to really provide resources for seniors, and the folks in their resources have been screened for the honesty and reliability. If you'd like to reach seniors with your message, you can reach Howard at seniorlifepublications.com. My first guest today is Mark Weaver. Mark is the sales manager of Westminster Manor, which is a continuing care retirement community. I've known Mark for many, many years and a real professional in senior living. Mark, welcome to the show. So, continuing care retirement communities, it's not a term that everybody's familiar with, but it does have a lot of meaning to it. Can you explain what that's about?
Sure. Continuing care retirement communities have been around for decades. Actually, Westminster Manor was the first of all the Westminster communities, opened in 1961. The main focus of continuing care is that they offer independent, assisted living, and skilled nursing. So for people that are looking for active living options, it's a good choice for them because you're really coming to a place where you're taking things off your plate. Mm-hmm. You're taking off your plate dealing with maintenance on your house. Sometimes meals are offered. Housekeeping, things that just make your life livable and much easier than necessarily living at home.
So obviously, you know, Comfort Keepers, we help people stay at home, but there are times that we realize for a variety of reasons it's more appropriate for someone to transition to some type of assisted living or even independent living, you know, for financial reasons, for ease reasons, for health reasons, for financial reasons. Mm-hmm. What can you take us through the progression of like when somebody, you know, let's say they're in pretty good health, they just want to make life a little easier. So what is the progression of like from independent on? Sure.
So the idea is most people come to the community paying an entrance fee. The way to look at an entrance fee, it's like buying long-term care insurance in a chunk. Because basically as a company, we're promising to take care of them for the rest of their lives, even if their money were to run out. Okay. Which is an important security to offer people. Sure. And one that people don't always know about. People have different paths through all of this. Many of the residents I have will say that they waited too long to come to the community. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot to offer independently that people aren't aware of, as far as activities, fitness, wellness, you know, programs, things like that. Just to enhance their life. Because speaking to how you have people in the home helping them with private duty, there's a lot of times where people, you know, just get lonely. Yeah. You know, they want to be part of a community and part of people and feel, you know, that they're proactively taking part in a group.
Well, companionship and connected to others is Sure. one of the keys to longevity, and that's certainly something that, you know, these communities like yours offer. What are some of the reasons that people like being there?
I think because, again, we're promising the levels of care all the way through to a nursing home level of care. Mm-hmm. So they're taking those decisions off their plate as far as a crisis situation. Because a lot of the time people are running around looking for an assisted living or looking for long-term care. Mm-hmm. You're coming to a CCRC, you're taking that off your plate, you're taking that off your children's plate, you're giving them that gift, you know, because we want people to come and be there and live well and be happy. I mean, you'll see in a lot of the Westminster, you know, that's our tagline is live well, be happy, because that's what we want for people. And we work very hard to try to do that.
So when somebody comes in, let's say they're very independent, are they potentially still driving sometimes?
Yeah,
or?
I have plenty of residents that still drive. Right. As far as the manor goes, we have a lot of very independent options. I have single family homes. We actually have a gated manufactured home community mm-hmm. that we have almost 40 homes there. So there's ways people can remain very independent and not mm-hmm. have to worry about maintenance, you know, property taxes, meals. Things like that. You know, yes, yeah. they can have access to meals in the dining room. So
let's say somebody's health got worse. What's the next step?
The next step is, I mean, we have a team, we have a health resource nurse that kind of helps people in independent living to navigate when they need to move on to assisted. And we have a great assisted living, and then beyond that we have skilled nursing. So we have a 5-star rated skilled nursing. And we do from short-term rehab to long-term nursing care. We even do outpatient therapy if our residents need it.
So from the assisted living side, what are the things that you're able to help people with?
I mean, usually people moving into assisted living, it's help with, you know, helping remember medication reminders, help with bathing and dressing, making sure there's staff there all the time. Just some oversight to help them assist in their lives. So.
Tell us a little bit about Westminster Communities, because there's a lot of communities that have had kind of a revolving door of ownership, and you know, you move in and you're expecting a certain level of care and it doesn't always materialize, but Westminster's been very consistent for a long time.
Yes, we've been the same faith-based not-for-profit company since the Manor opened in 1961. Westminster Communities of Florida currently operates 9 continuing care communities in the state. We're actually the largest not-for-profit continuing care provider in the state, and we're only in Florida, and we are the 10th largest in the nation.
So what are some of the reasons that people love Westminster maybe over some other choices that they've had?
I think kind of reaching back to our roots, it being a faith-based community, there's a lot of sense of community and camaraderie and the things that go along with that. So a lot of people that are drawn to that are drawn to people that are of like mind. You know, not necessarily that you have to be a particular religion or anything like that, but there's certain values that a lot of those groups hold that are consistent. You know, sense of working for your community, being connected to people. I think it comes down to that, and that's really, I think, what it ends up being about. And
you have several different properties. Can you mention where they are briefly and the differences between them?
Sure. We have, in Bradenton, we have Westminster Manor, my community, and Westminster Towers and Shores. It's in downtown Bradenton on the water. In St. Pete, we have Westminster Shores, which is on the water in St. Pete, Westminster Suncoast in South St. Pete, and Westminster Palms, which is a beautiful property right by the Vinoy Hotel. We have 2 properties in Orlando, Westminster Winter Park and Westminster Towers in downtown Orlando. We have Westminster Julington Creek in Tallahassee, and Jacksonville, and Westminster Oaks in Tallahassee.
Well, you really have been doing it a long time. You've got a great properties, and I think you cover a whole broad spectrum where people don't have to keep making decisions of what to do next. So, Mark, I think it's informative. Thanks for coming on the show.
I appreciate it, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be back.
Is Mom really taking her medications?
A Comfort Keeper can ensure that your loved one gets their medications on time, providing peace of mind for families in need of flexible in-home care. Comfort Keepers, let our family take care of yours.
Let's face it, life happens, and the laws change daily. Attorney Joseph Land can help guide you with legal issues you may face while aging. Len Law has helped countless clients in Sarasota and Port Charlotte in assistance with guardianships, Medicaid planning, VA planning, estate planning, wills and trusts, probate, and Social Security disability claims.
I'm elder law attorney Joseph Land. At Len Law, seniors matter. Your rights matter, and the legacy that you built matters.
Hey, welcome back. I'm here with Kevin Caldwell. Kevin is a field representative with Alignment Healthcare of Florida. I'm really excited to hear about this today, Kevin. Alignment is doing some really great things. Tell us a little bit about Alignment Healthcare.
Well, Alignment Healthcare is a population managed care company who has teamed up with Florida Blue, which is a division of Blue Cross and Blue Shield. And we provide health plans for those who are Medicare beneficiaries, and especially for those who have been diagnosed with a chronic condition. We've also developed a model of care, and the model of care has been created to help reduce costs for the Medicare recipients, as well as improved quality of care for them.
So it's a Medicare Advantage program,
yes,
one of
sir.
the Medicare Advantage. How does it differ from other Medicare Advantage plans?
Well, we have established a chronic special needs plan for those who have been diagnosed with a chronic condition, and Medicare has allowed those who have been diagnosed with these conditions to avail themselves any time of the year. Okay, so if you've been diagnosed with a chronic condition, you can get in contact with us, and then we can switch you to our plan, and then you'll be effective the first of the following month.
Wow.
Those are the things that a lot of people don't understand. They believe that the only time that they can change plans is during the enrollment period, which for the most part that's true. But again, if you are diagnosed with a chronic condition, you can avail yourself any time of the year.
So this sounds like a very specialized program that could be of great benefit to people that fall into a certain category. What is considered chronic situation?
We've identified those who have been diagnosed with diabetes or a cardiovascular disorder. And Medicare states that 20% of the population, they drive 80% of the cost. And so, again, we've developed a plan that helps them to go to the doctors. So it'll be a toss-up between, do I buy groceries or do I go to my doctor's appointment? Well, we want to make sure you buy your groceries. At the same time, we also want to make sure that you go to the doctor as well, too. So with our plan, we have eliminated a great deal of the co-pays, or at least have lowered the co-pays to allow you to get your prescriptions, allow you to buy your groceries, and at the same time, go to the doctor and, get checked out.
So it sounds like if you have one of these chronic problems, there could be huge advantages for somebody to consider this program, and
Yes.
and the government actually apparently has made it easy to switch into that to get help because they know it's going to be good for the consumer and it's going to save costs.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yes.
So where is this program available?
Well, right now we are in 5 counties in the state of Florida. Our corporate office for Florida Blue is in Jacksonville, and so we do have Alignment Healthcare is co-branded with Florida Blue in Clay and Duval County, as well as Pinellas County, and then the area that I work in is Manatee and Sarasota. And so we do cover, a large portion of the of Florida, and so we are looking to expand in the other counties as
How long have you been in Florida?
We've been in Florida since 2015 is when we showed up, and then 2016 was the first year that we actually presented our product to the Medicare beneficiaries.
So very innovative. You've got some equipment that you brought here today. So how does this help people?
Well, basically what happens is that if we enroll somebody onto our chronic special needs plan, we have 3 functions. What happens first is that we actually set them up with what's called a jumpstart assessment. And through that, it's a 45 to a 60-minute health assessment, full head to toe. We gather all of their information. We want to know their past history. We want to know what's going on today and what can be, come up, somewhere down the line. The second function is our case management program. And so for those who are diagnosed with a chronic condition, really depending on the severity of it, we do provide them with what's called a Vivify kit. And within the kit, it's a 9-inch Samsung tablet, as you see here. We provide them with a pulsometer as well as a blood pressure cuff, and there's also a scale in the package as well, too.
So we got a pulse. This is for your oxygen levels in the blood.
Yes.
And what does this do?
This is your blood pressure cuff.
Blood pressure cuff.
And then we do have a wireless scale, and everything runs off of 4G. So the individual does not have to have Wi-Fi, and all of the information downloads onto our onto the 9-inch Samsung tablet. And once all of this information is downloaded, we get that information in real time. So if, let's just say somebody, gained weight 10 pounds overnight or whatever, then we'll be alerted in real time. We'll reach out to that individual to ensure that they're okay. More than likely, they might have had maybe a party last night or whatever, probably ate more food than they probably should have. Yeah. And so we will reach out to them to make sure that they're okay. If they're not, then we will get them transported, to the hospital or to our care center. Wow. If they're okay, then we'll basically sign off and basically just keep monitoring, our members.
So this is all wireless equipment that's part. They don't have to pay for this. It's all part of the program.
Everything that we're doing is covered at a zero copay. It's complimentary to the members. It's complimentary to the doctors as well too. So it's beneficial for everybody. There is no added cost. As a matter of fact, we reduce if not eliminate a lot of the costs. And so we make it financially viable for our members to, you know, get to the doctor. We also provide transportation as well too. So again, if they don't have access to a vehicle, we'll provide transportation for them to get to their doctor's appointments, pharmacy, and hospital.
Wow, that's huge.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know anybody that does that.
Right.
You're not driving them, are you?
No,
Okay.
no, they won't let me do that.
This tablet here, do they have to do anything with that, or is that just the coordination of the equipment and the signal?
It's about as simple as you can possibly make it. We have large icons on the tablet. It wakes them up in the morning. It asks how they're doing. It has icons to indicate.
So that's helping them communicate with,
right.
with the
So
office.
this is almost like going into your doctor's office every single day. And so when you get there and you do your vitals, it's the same thing. So when you go to your doctor's office, you step on a scale, they do your blood pressure, they take your pulse. If you're a diabetic, you'll check your blood sugar, and you'll download all of the information into our tablet. Excuse me, and then we'll get all the information in real time.
So you've got somebody monitoring. If something's out of alignment, then you contact the client?
Right. Well, we have a command center out in California. That's where Alignment Healthcare was founded. So we have a command center out there, and so it almost looks like NASA. Okay, it's about half the size of a football field, and it has monitors throughout, and then everyone who is a member on our plan, we are monitored, or we're monitoring them daily by the hour and by the minute. And if anything deviates one way or another, then we will get in contact with them. We get in contact with their primary care physician. We also get in contact with any specialist. At the same time, if anybody ends up in the emergency room, we'll get in contact with family members as well too, whether they are in state or out of state.
That's incredibly comprehensive.
Yes.
Very impressive, very impressive. So how can people find out more about this program?
Well, I'll be doing seminars for our chronic special needs plan starting in August through September, or they can call me directly at 813-465-2409. They can call me, they can send me a text. My email address is kcaldwell@ahcusa.com. So really either call me directly or check your local listings. We will be doing seminars, like I said, August through September.
Great information. AlignmentHealthcare.com is the website,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so you can easily look that up.
Yes.
And K. Caldwell
Yes.
at AlignmentHealthcareUSA.com is
Yes,
your
sir.
email.
Yes.
So real quick before we go to break, the cost compared to maybe some other Medicare plans?
No cost.
No cost.
Zero monthly premium. I get that question a lot. You don't get something for nothing. Well, actually, you have to be diagnosed with a chronic condition. So in a sense, that's your cost. Okay.
Kevin, amazing program. Got to check it out. If you're in this situation, it can really help you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next segment where we have some more great information. Stay with us.
The Harvey Center for Integrative Medicine is helping people every day to thrive and live healthy, vital lives. Our integrative approach combines conventional medicine with holistic and innovative therapies to help you achieve optimal function. Are you ready to function at 100% of your ability? Dr. Fred Harvey customizes tools and treatments to achieve optimal wellness at any age.
Hi, I'm Dr. Fred Harvey. Do you want to feel vital, vibrant, and fully energized? If so, call our office to find out how.
When a stroke or injury impacts your life, we're here to help you get it back. With our dedicated team of specialists, personalized treatment plans, the most inventive technologies, and a coordinated approach to recovery. This is more than just rehabilitation. This is a higher level of care.
Hey, thanks for staying with us. Now joining me on the show is Brenda Bates, who is a nurse liaison, and Shelley Christian, who is the administrator of Surrey Place, which is a health and rehabilitation community. Brenda has been the nurse for 30 years, and Shelley's been the Surrey Place administrator for 23 years. Truly an unusual accomplishment. I am really kind of taken aback by that, your longevity there. You were mentioning there's some other folks that have been there forever.
Yes, our rehab director's been there for 25 years. Our housekeeping supervisor's been there for 27. Our kitchen manager's been there for 28. Our social services director's been there for 11. And we actually have plaques in the building reflecting this, because it's such an accomplishment.
It really is. I mean, you know, having that consistency really bodes well for the running of the places, I'm sure you know.
Right.
Where is it located?
We're actually located in West Bradenton. We're only about 4 miles west of like Bradenton Beach, and we are part of a residential and business community in West Bradenton.
So when people think about rehabilitation facilities, a lot of different things conjure up. Let's talk a little bit about the progression. How does somebody enter into rehab, and when would they need that?
I think that's a really good question, Brenda, since you're a nurse liaison.
Basically, there's a couple different ways people come in. The majority of our residents come through the hospital. They have some kind of health care crisis or exacerbation of a problem, and they end up getting in the hospital, getting weak, requiring IV antibiotics for infection. A majority of our people are people that just need strengthening with therapy, and they need the nursing clinical. Again, Kevin talked about some of the chronic illnesses. We see a lot of the congestive heart failure, the COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, diabetes. So a lot of people, they get the exacerbation of those things. So the majority of the people that I bring through to Surrey Place come through the hospital, and we work very closely with the physicians and the case managers at the hospitals. So under Medicare, they required a 3-day hospital stay as an inpatient qualifying, and then the case managers make the referral.
For Medicare to pay for.
For Medicare to pay for their rehab. And then the case managers contact us with a referral, or we do an assessment to make sure we can clinically care for them and meet their needs, and then we coordinate transfer over to rehab.
So are most people there kind of for a short stay, or do you have long-term care also?
Well, actually, at Surrey Place, we do long-term care and short-term care, and right now our census is about balanced. We do about 50-50 of each. We actually do a lot of post-surgical patients that come in for short-term. Some of them, most of them go home after their rehab. Some have to go to different life settings, and some, unfortunately, don't make it exactly where they want to go right away, so sometimes they have to transition to our long-term. And again, we also do long-term care, so we do both at Surrey.
When would somebody be better off moving into a community like yours as opposed to getting some of those therapies at home?
Well, that's a good question. In a skilled nursing facility where, like our rehab department, we have therapists on site, and we do therapy 6 days a week, scheduled. Sometimes we even do it on Sunday. And our therapists actually go ahead and assess the needs that they need for their therapy. We combine modern equipment with the therapist modalities to handle a wide range of diagnoses. They don't have to get in a car and do outpatient therapy. They get it right at the facility. We do electrostimulation, we do vital stimulation, we have ultrasound. Soon we'll be getting a Biodex machine, which is actually a machine. It has sensors on the bottom that helps you reduce falls, balance issues, patients with vertigo. And it's nice because the patients get their 3 meals a day there, plus snacks. The nurses are monitoring your vitals. We have doctors coming in. We're the eyes and ears of the doctor, and you don't have to travel to your therapy.
So it's really somebody who has a more chronic situation that needs to really have close attention and a lot of concentrated therapy to get better quicker.
Right. A lot of times they have comorbidities. It's not just like one thing, it's multiple things that we're monitoring. And in addition to that, maybe they lived at home and they don't have anybody to help them at home. So we start out, you know, being the help that they need, and then usually they can transition home with home health.
So they're getting the therapies there. Is there an average length of stay for somebody in short term?
We have average lengths of stay for different diagnoses, but typically if you're like a post maybe knee patient or a post hip, of course those are 2 different joints, but you're looking anywhere from 7 to 10 days all the way to 15. Typically the average length of stay, especially with patients with comorbidities, you're looking at 20, 21 days, and certainly under 30.
So at what point is somebody going to stay long term?
Well, usually long term, maybe there is some dementia going on, maybe, you know, after surgery or the acute episode, maybe there was additional episodes clinically that happened, and they're just unable to be able to you know, be able to get groceries or manage their affairs and that sort of thing.
And you know,
we frequently find caregivers caregiver burnout, and so they've been caring for the person. This last stay, they were a little harder to care for. The person is just, they realize that they can no longer do it. A lot of times they're spouses that are in their 80s and 90s, and so that's when we talk to them about, they've had the person in rehab and they realize how much better they feel, and that the best for the patient to be someplace.
And actually, when our average age is 80, 85, 86, so then their children who may have been even helping out with their care at home, you know, they're not spring chickens either. So, you know, sometimes that is a very good part of it. Yeah, being able to help your parents with a lot of the things that they need that you're really not trained to do.
Correct. Correct.
So, Sari Place, tell us a little bit about what makes you guys unique.
Well, we believe that our staff is actually what makes us unique. We are a 74-bed skilled nursing facility. We're actually one of the smallest skilled nursing facilities in Manatee County. We were built in 1989, and we started out as a 60-bed skilled nursing facility with a 40-bed ALF. And we have an expectation of excellence, and just from showing you a little bit about the department managers that have been there a long time at Sari Place, we have many staff people that have dedicated their life to providing care and services to seniors in our community, and it's that expectation of excellence that really makes us different. Customer service, really working hard at devoting ourselves to the resident and their families, and really listening to what their needs are.
So you guys have a great reputation, and you do get people back on their feet pretty quickly. What is the discharge process like? I mean, because people are going in, they really obviously don't want to have to be in rehab, but obviously getting better quicker is a great thing, and having that quality staff there that can make that happen. What's the transition home? I mean, how do you set people up for success when they leave Hal?
Well, the transition actually is a very good word. We have a very strong transition program from the time of admission, which Brenda handles, all the way through the discharge process. So Brenda's already talking about discharge plans before she even takes them, and she's communicating that with us. And within 72 hours of admission at our facility, we're meeting with you. It's called Partners in Care meeting, and our interdisciplinary team is meeting with you about what medicines are you currently on, what medicines were you taking at home, what are your expectations, what are your goals, and we move that right through to what we call a pathway home, which is a discharge plan meeting, and we actually talk about what we need to do to get you to go home safe. And then after you're discharged, we follow, and Brenda's one of them. She does one of the follow-up phone calls. There's a 3-part follow-up phone call series that we do once you get home.
So you do follow up with people once they get home and make sure they have what they need and that they've got care at home. And
yep.
You know,
our social worker follows up within 2 days to make sure home health came in and everything was going as well. Then rehab follows up about 2 weeks out. Some people aren't aware under Medicare there's a 30-day window of time where if you go home and you're not doing well, that you can actually come back under your qualifying stay.
And that's what we do. We try to help people prevent those readmissions once they get home.
Right.
They're very informative. Thanks for watching. We hope you found it to be a great show. Call Sari Place or give them a tour if you're expecting to have to do rehab or rehabilitate from a hospital stay. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week on Thriving on the Suncoast.
Comfort keepers, cause there's no place quite like home. Call Comfort Keepers.